Greetings, user. Thanks for coming. Today, I am going to tell you a new interesting story about the Flatwoods Monster, also referred to as the Braxton County Monster or the Flatwoods Ghost, is an unidentified entity that has become a subject of folkloric interest in West Virginia. It was purportedly sighted on September 12, 1952, in the town of Flatwoods, Braxton County, United States. The creature's classification remains uncertain, with some suggesting it may be a cryptid or an extraterrestrial life form. The accounts of its appearance and behavior typify a close encounter where witnesses claim to have had an unnervingly close experience with an unknown entity. The creature has gained notoriety, with its legend extending to Japan, where it is known as the 3-meter tall alien. Despite numerous investigations, the true identity of the Flatwoods Monster remains a mystery, requiring further exploration to fully understand its origins and existence. Appearance. Reports of two objects associated with the Flatwoods Monster have been documented. The first is described as a large, pulsating red ball of light that hovers above the contactees or is situated on the ground. Some ufologists suggest that this could possibly have been an extraterrestrial craft piloted by the second object. Descriptions of the second object vary. Most accounts suggest that the creature was at least 10 feet tall and had a red face that glowed from within and a green body. Witnesses described the creature's head as having protuberances, non-human eyes, and either a heart-shaped or a large heart-shaped swelling behind it. The creature's body was described as humanoid, wearing a dark pleated skirt, later described as green. Some sources report the creature as being without visible weapons, while others describe it with a short claw-like weapon. The description also mentions the creature's claw-like fingers, which protruded from the front of its body. Chronology of events. On September 12, 1952, at around 7:15 p.m., Edward and Fred May and their friend Tommy Heyer were playing football on a field in Braxton County, West Virginia, when they saw a bright object flying across the sky. The object eventually landed on the property of a local farmer named Bailey Fisher. The boys went to the house of Edward and Fred's mother, Kathleen May, and reported what they had seen. Kathleen, along with the boys, Neil Nunley, Ronnie Shaver, and 17-year-old National Guard member Eugene Lemon, decided to investigate and went to Fisher's farm. As they walked, Lemon's dog ran ahead, started barking, and then returned to the group with its tail between its legs. When they reached the top of a nearby hill, they saw a large, pulsating fireball to their right, about 50 feet away. They also smelled a pungent mist that irritated their eyes and noses. Lemon then spotted two small lights to the left and slightly above the object under a nearby oak tree, and pointed his flashlight at them. The light illuminated a 10-foot tall creature that emitted a piercing hissing noise, glided towards the group, changed direction, and then headed towards the red light. The group panicked and ran down the hill. After returning home, Kathleen contacted the local sheriff, Robert Carr, and Lee Stewart, co-owner of the Braxton Democrat newspaper. Stewart interviewed the boys and returned to the scene later that night with Lemon, where they still smelled a burnt metallic odor. Sheriff Carr and his deputy, Burnell, searched the area extensively but found no evidence of a collision. The next morning, on September 13, Lee Stewart returned to the scene and discovered two elongated tracks in the mud and thick black liquid. He reported them as possible signs of a flying saucer crash, assuming no vehicles had moved through the area for at least a year. Later, it was determined that the tracks were likely made by a 1942 Chevrolet pickup truck belonging to a local resident named Max Lockhart, who had gone there to look at the creature several hours before Stewart's discovery. Health implications. In September, a group encountered a creature which released a mist, causing several members to experience symptoms like nasal irritation and throat swelling, similar to their previous encounter with the mist. One of them, named Lemon, had more severe symptoms like vomiting and seizures that lasted throughout the night and throat problems for weeks after. A doctor who treated some of the group noted that their symptoms resembled those of mustard gas exposure. Skeptical explanations. After 48 years since the incident, Joe Nickel, a member of the investigative team of the organization CC, later known as CSI, later known as CCOP, which deals with skeptical explanations of paranormal phenomena, concluded in 2000 that the bright light in the sky reported by witnesses on September 12 was most likely a meteor. The pulsating red light was probably from an airplane or a lighthouse, and the creature described by witnesses reminded him of an owl. Nickel claims that the last two circumstances were distorted due to the heightened anxiety felt by witnesses after they noticed the first one. Nickel's conclusions were shared by several other researchers, including those from the Air Force. On the night of September 12, a meteor was observed in the states of Maryland, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. And there was also a false report that a burning plane crashed into a hillside in Elk River, approximately 11 miles, 18 km, southwest of the alleged location of the creature's sighting. 3 flashing red lights of an aircraft were also seen from the observation area, and it's possible that witnesses mistook their pulsating red light for the creature's red color on the face. Nickel concluded that the shape, movements, and sounds of the creature reported by witnesses also corresponded to the silhouette, flight pattern, and sounds of a screech owl sitting on a tree branch, which led the researcher to conclude that the foliage under the owl possibly created the illusion of the creature's lower part, described as a pleated green skirt. Researchers also concluded that the lack of agreement among witnesses about whether the creature had a weapon, combined with Kathleen May's account of its small, claw-like hands that were outstretched before it, also corresponded to the description of a screech owl with claws gripping a tree branch. What do you think was Flatwood Monster? Please type in the comments about which else cryptids do you want me to make a video. Thank you for watching.